So please move. Yeah, there we go. So this is going to be my final project for the Python programming class with UAT. And just gonna do a quick breakdown and a quick run of it in this video. So I'll go ahead and go over it, just kind of give a rundown. We have the import section, importing the operating system, which is whatever PC you'll be running when you run this. The tkinter, and then as just the regular tkinter, and then we also have the themed tkinter since we're going to be using not the absolute basic GUIs, but just want to add a little bit of customization ability. So we don't want it to be absolutely plain. Then we have the pandas, pretty standard. We're going to be moving and grouping a little bit of data. And we have NumPy, which is going to be, it's going to be like a one and done type thing. We're only going to use it like very briefly. So moving down, this will be the set option. That is specifically, well, I specifically use it for data frames. That's all I've used it for. So that's all I know what to use it for. And just display max columns, as the comment says, show all the columns in a specific data frame. And we'll only be using one data frame in this. Once we get it rolling, you'll see what I'm talking about. The name input, whoever the order is going to be named for. Then the print, just print a message. Then we have our first function, the menu upload. This is going to be selecting the menu file that I've created. It's a TXT file right now, a text file I have saved, and the function, the nested function, will be reading and uploading the file, and then the overhead function, menu upload, will not only run the reading function, but then it will also, then like I said, have the reading in a data frame, which would just make it, for me, easier to look at and easier to read. And then we'll have this for loop. It just cleans up the data in there. And then we'll return the menu value, which is also, it's been up here. It's just been named on a modular level. Python kept bugging me about it. So, PyCharm kept bugging me about it. So I just did none. And then I named it as global. So it can be used throughout the entire project. So once we get past this menu upload, we'll create a empty list called new order, which we will store the customer order in, their choices through their inputs. And once they're verified and validated, we'll add them to there. And we will do that by going into this next function that I just closed and didn't mean to, find menu items. What this does is specifically, it will go over each of the categories in the data frame as a list. And what it will do is, so we'll have, I believe it's 6 categories. It'll be a base, grains, protein, greens, vegetable, and just extras in that order, if I'm not mistaken. I'm gonna find out in a minute. And what it will do is iterating over each of those rows. So the base column and the row, the grain column and the row, and so on and so forth. So we want to look here, and all that it takes it all as a list, and what we'll look into is the options, which are going to be the actual choices. To say I wanted a chicken bowl type thing, which is probably what I'm going to do. That's usually what I did. This is actually inspired by Chipotle. I was in the Chipotle when I was reading up on doing this. This is like a combination of three different class projects, two, two class projects, which we will see at work very soon. Then we will, once we, excuse me, I apologize, get the options ready, we will get the input, and these will just be a quick hit to show what what category is looking at, and then whatever options are available in that category. And then we have an if statement, and I chose to do it, change it to a string, and then as dot title because I capitalized everything in the menu, so it just works better. What is this? Cannot find reference. That literally has no bearing on what I'm about to do here. And then elif, else if. I can't spell. Golly, what the world? How did you get tied, my boy? If the length of the string or whatever is typed in is less than 4, then we'll throw a value error. Or if we have an option that's none, and if they want to skip it, why did you move that? Player, you are showing out today. And if the string that the customer typed in equals none, then we will remove it from the list, so we don't have a list of ordered a chicken a bowl with salmon, and for the grains none with queso cheese and kale. That none will be removed with this little else if portion, and if we still don't get a match, we'll break it right here, or we can run an exception and run an error message on that as well. And if everything goes well, we will return a new order, which again we saved up here as an empty list, but then we're gonna run this function, find menu items, and save new order, append the titles, the string titles, which I'm saying string title just because that's what's typed, but just whatever is typed, capitalized. So even if it's two words, both words will be capitalized. And then the last function we have is on button click. This is specifically for the GUI, and this is building I don't want to make this video too long. For building the GUI and on the button click, and self-explanatory, when you click the button, that will pop up on the GUI. But this function specifically, going back to the end goal of the project, is for the order receipt. So each function has its own purpose. This one specifically, menu upload, is for finding the file that holds the menu values, and then a little later on, after you run the actual try part of the try statement, then you will interesting. Then you will then manipulate the data, add it to a data frame, then manipulate the items in the data frames, find menu items specifically for verifying if the customer inputs match what we have available in the menu. And if that's not the case, then we have, procedures to move on. So finally, we get to the run equals true. And then all that means is we want it to go, we want it to start and continue to run. And if the while loop says while run equals true, menu complete is going to hold the value of menu upload, our first function, and we'll go ahead and print it out so we can actually see what the menu is. And we're going to run find menu items, which is then going to allow the customer to then search for items in the menu that just popped up. Then finally, we will generate a order receipt and it will be displayed in the GUI. So that's a lot of information. So what I'm going to do is go ahead and, go ahead and run it one time. I'll probably run it twice, just to do it twice. Twice is nice. So we'll run this current file. Make sure of something. Let me see something. Share. There we go. That's what I want. Now, so we have the first input. That'll be for the customer name. So we'll just write my name. And there we have an intro message. Thank you for choosing our restaurant. Please review the menu below. And this is the menu file that we had. It's just the raw path. And I put it there just to, I would say, give reference, just in case I lost the path. But I'll probably get rid of that once I upload this to GitHub. I most definitely will. Then this is the menu, and it actually took like, oh man, me and this doggone data frame, we were fighting tooth and nail. I could not get this thing to work. Thankfully, it's only 5, what is that, 6x5, 6x6, right? Yeah, 6x6. So it wasn't too much. I actually had to reformat the text file and had to kind of redo it. I'm rambling. So next message is personalize your order. And again, this would be the category, and it would go to this column, the base 0 column. So we will select an option and it will be bold. Then we'll get white rice. Let's get brown rice. I always get brown rice when I go to Chipotle. Brown rice. And I usually get chicken, but today I'm going to get salmon. And I usually juggle wherever I go out, and I know I'm going to have a greens option. I usually go for kale, even though it's a bit stronger taste than spinach or any of the other ones. I love bell peppers, so we'll go ahead and add that in. Man, I type kind of slow. And then queso cheese. Never hurt. It only makes you gassier. So now, right here is the message. So we have our bowl, which is our base option. And then we have our grains, protein, greens, vegetable, extras in that order. I usually don't get all of this. Well, Chipotle usually doesn't have all of this. Like Chipotle, I don't think they have salmon or kale or bell peppers. Chipotle, do it. You'll get a lot more sales. But I usually get this. I actually usually, what do I usually? I usually get the bowl with the brown rice and chicken. I tried the carne asada. That was okay. I don't know what the big hype was. Getting off track. Getting back to the subject, we have our message, and now we know our order has been placed, and now we'll go to the GUI that popped up. I still have to research more on how to make this thing bigger from the jump. So we'll just open it up ourselves. We have order details. Click to view the order receipt, and it pulls up this. And remember, we saved. Let me pull this side up. We saved order details as a data frame. Why is there a gap? I was gonna put something else there, but I don't think I will. I don't think I will. So order details is saved as a data frame, which is why it's built like this. So I mean, it worked. Um, it pulled up the GUI, so I'm happy about that. It pulled, and really, this is what I wanted separately. That's what that column was for, but I'm not going to add that in this video. I'm about to go to bed after this. I was going to add which column it was in, but I'll probably add that probably on my next version that I upload to GitHub. I'm gonna upload this version, and then I'm going to upload another version to GitHub after that. But yeah, I'm only gonna run it one time. That is my final project. If I had to give myself a rating on this project, I'm very strict. I'm very, very strict about my self-grading and things of that nature. I'm very tough on myself. I honestly give myself like a 5 because I was able to put it together and run it, but at the same time, I know it can be so much better. Like these if statements and else if else statements, they were whooping up on me, man. I was fighting for my life. I don't even remember what I was going to put here. I just put break. I said, got it. You got it. I don't want no problems with you. But that is the gist of my final project again. I thank you for watching. You have a good one.